It was a crazy week. To week 9 in the National Football League. A running back makes a field goal kick for the Texans. The Buccaneers lost to the Texans. The Vikings win with Josh Dobbs as their quarterback. And on top of that, the Falcons lost once more. Remember, Josh Dobbs only been there for 5 days. And guess what? The Patriots could be their last game with Bill Belichick as their head coach. We'll talk more of that and plus make our Week 10 picks tonight on the 12th Horseshoe Podcast live on Surge Sports.
And the Colts won.
I just said the Seahawks won and they lost miserably 37-3. How am I kidding? I'm no more disappointed in that game than any other game of the National Football League. And welcome everyone to the 12th Horseshoe Podcast on Surge Sports. Jack Rizzo to my right, left, something like that.
Hi.
Elijah Weintraub here. We have a fun show for tonight. Week 9 in the NFL is done. We're going to break down and recap every game. And just to let you know, there will be no Prediction Friday show on Friday. We will be making our Week 10 picks tonight right here on Surge Sports. It's going to be a little bit of a longer episode, so please stay tuned throughout the episode. And before we get to say hello to Jack, let's just say congratulations to Arda Ocal, who we had on the show previously in the summer. He just had a new multi-year contract extension with ESPN, doing SportsCenter as well as the NHL on ESPN and The Point, plus all the podcasts and all the other digital media stuff that he does. So congratulations, Arda. We cannot thank him enough for joining our show previously in the summer, as well as Sports with Mano and Mano, and we cannot wait for what you have in store next on ESPN. Over to you, Jack. What are your thoughts on this crazy Week 9 in the National Football League?
Hey, Eli. It was a fun one for sure, especially since my Colts finally got back in the win column. 14 games though, and a lot of them were pretty crazy. Came down to the wire. A lot of close games, especially in the early window of the games. Those were really fun games. The primetime games weren't as good this week, but there was certainly a lot to look forward to. A lot of games a lot of games that we didn't think would be exciting, but turned out to be very exciting. And I can't wait to break it all down and preview Week 10.
Right. So we're going to actually start off with some breaking news just announced about an hour ago. Bill Belichick, this is more than likely his last game with the New England Patriots in Germany as they face the Colts. There was a release saying that there was a possibility if the Patriots lose to the Colts this weekend, which according to our picks, we will think the Colts will win. More than likely, Robert Kraft will more than likely say goodbye to Bill Belichick from the New England Patriots. So this is scary news, obviously, for all Patriots fans.
Not for us, because we hate the Patriots.
I hate the Chiefs more now because they're winning. But just want to throw out one thing. This is news because Bill Belichick has been with the Patriots for a very long time. So I'm honestly rooting. I picked the Colts to win this weekend. We'll get to the picks later. But I honestly hope that he does keep his job because, he is a coach. He is a great coach. He has done so much for this New England team. And now we'll see what happens here. But to recap the Patriots game first, getting back to regular topic, Commanders lost to the Patriots.
Wait, you never said the standings this week about the picks and everything, like who won the picks.
Oh, I'll get to that in a second. Commanders beat the Patriots 20-17. The Commanders played yet again another close game, but yet again it was a win versus the Patriots. The Patriots are the Patriots, not looking good, and it's just going to come down to the wire to see what is going to happen next. The Patriots are going to go to Germany to take on the Colts, and the Commanders travel to Seattle to lose to the Seattle Seahawks. And just let you know, hold on, we'll get to that in a moment. Just by the way, to recap everybody, so I don't get any complaints about our standings. Jack won 9-5 this week. I won 8-6. We both went 2-1 on LSU. Both were the upsets, both correct on Lock and Survivor. So kudos to the two of us. And Jack, what are your thoughts about this whole Patriots team and any additional thoughts you may have?
Let me just say, that would be quite sweet if the Colts could knock off the Patriots and end Bill Belichick's coaching tenure with everything that he's done to our franchise over the last 20 years. And I wouldn't even feel bad for him because
I feel bad.
Why? He's made so much money and he's won 6 Super Bowls. There's literally nothing to feel bad for about him. I mean, he's just retire, old man. I don't even know. Just I mean, he's ruining I mean, maybe he was just lucky to have Tom Brady all those years, but he's just made so much money. He could probably go into a TV job or something and make even more money. So there's no reason for him to even be coaching the Patriots at this point. Maybe he's probably looked like he's lost the locker room, he's lost the fan base. It looks like he's lost the front office and ownership as well. As for the Commanders, I don't even know what to think of them because they just play. They play like a different team every week. They look like the Chiefs one week and then they look like the Bears the next week. So again, this is like I think the 8th week in a row where I've gotten the Commanders pick wrong, whether I pick them to win or whether I pick them to lose. So,
I got him right.
Yeah, honestly, I'll just say right now, I don't really care if I get the Commanders wrong ever because it's not in my control. So yeah, whatever. But Sam Howell looked really good. He made some really nice throws on Sunday, including one beautiful one to Jahan Dotson in the end zone. The Commanders defense played really well, something that they needed to. They've struggled all season, but I guess playing the Patriots offense isn't really that hard of a task to do. But still, going into Foxborough and getting a win is never an easy thing to do. And congrats to the Commanders, their first win over the Patriots since 2003. So congrats to the Washington Red Football Commanders.
Something. Yeah, good for you, Jay. All right. So yeah, again, these Bill Belichick rumors are currently rumors, but more than likely, according to sources, it is possible if they lose this weekend. Well, hopefully they try to keep it close to keep his job still alive. Breaking down from the Steelers-Titans game that happened earlier this week, we already broke that down already in our last show. 2016 was the final. Steelers are home this week to take on the Packers. Titans travel to Tampa Bay to take on the Bucs. Both games are at 1 p.m. on CBS. And the Steelers linebacker Cole Holcomb has been out for a season-ending injury with a knee injury. So just through. Also, let's go into the first regular game other than the Commanders. The Chiefs over the Dolphins, 21-14. The Dolphins had it, but lost it at the end as it went over the head of Tua Tagovailoa. They are still a good team, but can't seem to win against a team that is over 500. Perfect time for a bye to redevelop. Two things that can't. And let's just say for the Chiefs, they can do two things. They can win with Taylor Swift, and they can only win in Germany. That's the only two things. They both have a bye this week. Huge win for the Chiefs. Close game, but came down to the wire as usual. What are your thoughts on this game? Real quick.
Well, first off, for all you Dolphins, for all of you who think the Dolphins are going to be a Super Bowl contender, whatever, let me just remind you that their 6 wins this season are against the following teams: the Chargers, the Broncos, the Panthers, the Giants, and the Patriots twice. All of those teams are either 500
it's
or
a disappointment.
worse.
Yeah, absolutely disappointment.
And the 3 teams they've lost to have been the Bills, the Eagles, and the Dolphins, all Super Bowl contenders. So
and all teams over 500.
I'm not a believer in Miami until they can actually beat good teams. So they can beat up on all the bad teams all they want, but they can't beat the good teams. They're going to be a first-round exit in the playoffs again. So got to see improvement from them. The offense did not look good. I will say Miami's defense played really well, especially in the second half. How about the Chiefs, though? How about their defense, the way they played? I was watching that game. They have some of the best tackling defenders in the league. Their secondary has improved tremendously. You got to give a lot of credit to Steve Spagnuolo. He's doing a great job there at KC, including that play at the end of the first half where they forced the fumble on Tyreek Hill and they lateraled it for a touchdown, which ended up being the difference because they only won by 7. I will say, though, it was not the revenge game I don't think that Tyreek Hill was hoping for. Had one of his worst games of the season.
100% agree. All right.
I got the pick right and Eli got it wrong. That was his upset of the week, but the Chiefs won.
Yes, I know, Jack. You don't have to remind me, but
I have to do it for the viewers, though, so they know what we got right and what we got wrong.
Whatever, Jack. Okay, moving right along on schedule. Let's just remind everybody, if you're watching on YouTube, feel free to comment, leave us a chat, reply.
Right there, right down below. We appreciate all.
Right to the right, I think. It's to the right, something like that. I don't know how my computer works, but chat us. Let us know what your thoughts on these games. Next game on the list, Josh Dobbs. He goes to the team for 5 days. Doesn't even know a player on his team, who's there, what the deal is. And guess what? The Vikings beat the Falcons 31-28. The Vikings made an excellent choice for picking up Josh Dobbs. Right on point. Great defense. Defense is getting better. Whole new team at the right time. Falcons, on the other hand, are becoming a disappointment once more. And Cam Akers, the running back, is out for the season with an Achilles injury. So the Vikings will take on the Saints, and Arizona takes on the Cardinals. Falcons take on Arizona. So that is interesting. And what's up, Kurt? Thank you for watching.
Thank you, Kurt. Appreciate it.
And
It was great to be on your show last week.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it. Unfortunately, horrible end to the St. Mary Gill season, but they played the poll. So yeah.
Yeah.
But great job. And they're just the beginning. They'll be back at it next year.
For sure.
What are your thoughts? By the way, I got the pick right. Jack got it wrong. Happy. And thoughts?
Let's just say, can we get Josh Dobbs' chains? He deserves them after that. Don't forget, Eli, that Josh Dobbs wasn't even the starter in this game. It was Jaron Hall, the rookie out of BYU.
Correct.
So Josh Dobbs, who basically got here
5 days ago.
2 days before the game. Well, it felt like 2 days. I'll just say 2 days. Kind of like the Baker Mayfield last year with the Rams. And then he won on Thursday night. But how about Josh Dobbs, though, did great, just got out of some crazy pressures, picked up first downs, got the ball to his receivers. The Minnesota defense really stepped up in the second half there. It's a great win for that team. They are over 500 now, and I think they can make a playoff run. They have a very manageable schedule the rest of the way. I think Kevin O'Connell is one of the best young head coaches in the league. And just good for the Vikings, man. They deserve that win. As for the Falcons, man, they must be the weirdest team in the NFL. Arthur Smith refuses to use his skill position players in ways that make sense. The Falcons have now blown opportunities of back-to-back weeks against they have lost in back-to-back weeks against backup quarterbacks. And the Falcons, who should be running away with this division, are now sitting at 4-5. And I don't really know where they go from here, but I don't really know if it's going to be Taylor Heineke or Desmond Ridder the rest of the way, but they got to figure something out because the season is quickly slipping away from them.
All right. And Kurt also just said, awesome. You guys are always welcome. Thank you again. And now to the Texans-Buccaneers game. 39-37. A running back makes a kick for the injured kicker. And what an amazing game. The Texans are for real, guys. They're for real. They're a playoff team. I believe it. Mark my words.
I do too.
They're a playoff team. They're going to be going far in the playoffs. The Buccaneers, on the other hand, were horrible. And let's just say
they were horrible.
Not horrible. They played a good game, but
I mean, they scored 37 points. It's hard to be horrible when you score 37 points.
Yes, but not like, you know what I'm saying? Like not horrible.
Defense was horrible, but their offense was good.
Defense was horrible. Offense was good. Don't get me wrong. It's just they're not to the level that we expect them to be in the NFL right now. That's why I'm saying the word horrible. But okay, we both right about the pick on the Texans. Nobody got the score right this week. No surprise there. And thoughts?
We both got it right though.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, so, well, first of all, I want to say the Bucs aren't at the level we expect them to be. Because remember, coming into the season, I had the Bucs only winning 4 games all season, and they have far exceeded that this year. But this was a rough game, though. They should have won. They were up by 4 with 46 seconds left, and they let C.J. Stroud just march right down the field and find Tank down the end zone. But you mentioned it, though, the Texans being legit. I mean, we'll see how the rest of the season pans out, but what you can't tell is how bright of a future they have. C.J. Stroud looks like not only the best quarterback in this draft, the best player in this draft, period.
I agree.
For the Texans, 470 yards on Sunday, 5 touchdowns, including the game winner to Tank Dell with 6 seconds left. Tank Dell has also been an incredible addition to the offense. And Nico,
funny. Saints over Bears, 24-17. The Saints played a close game yet again, but a victory nonetheless. The Bears played an amazing close game once more. Still some struggles on their side, but it is what it is. And the Bears' Montez Sweat has agreed to a 4-year, $98 million extension worth up to $72.8 million guaranteed. Thoughts?
Well, props to the Bears for keeping this one close. I don't think they were supposed to be keeping it this close with a much more talented Saints team. I will say, though, it's been weird for the Saints. They're 5-4, but are they really as good as their record says? They've had some really sloppy games this year.
No, they're not.
This NFC South is really, really weak. This division is
very bad.
Open. I mean, Tampa Bay could come back and win the division for all we know. So we'll have to see what happens. But it was an interesting game. The Bears should have won, and they would have won if they didn't turn the ball over 5 times. It's crazy that they turned it over that many, and it was a 7-point game because the Saints turned it over 0 times.
Correct.
Tyson Bagent showed flashes, though, but he also turned the ball over 3 times in the fourth quarter. It's clear that Justin Fields is the starter when he comes back. But the Bears have got to turn around quickly. They've got a Thursday nighter up next against the Carolina Panthers. Why did the NFL have to do that to us?
That's the game of the week. Who are you kidding, Jack?
Oh, dear God.
Game of the week.
How about Taysom Hill, though, for the Saints? Another multi-touchdown performance. 1 throwing and 1 receiving for Taysom Hill. Another
That's
BYU
true.
product, second one I mentioned today.
Absolutely.
And we'll mention another one later on how bad he was.
Right, 100% agree. And that game, we were both correct with the Saints. We both
And I had my survivor.
and yeah, your survivor, you're correct on that one.
Thank God.
Let's
I
get
thought
to
I was
the
gonna lose it.
Let's go to the NFL standings real quick. 8-1 Eagles, 7-2 Ravens and Chiefs, 6-2 Lions and Jaguars, 6-3 Dolphins, 5-3 Bengals, Browns, Cowboys, Steelers, 49ers, and Seahawks. 5-4 Bills, Vikings, Saints, 4-4 Texans, Chargers, Jets, 4-5 Colts, Raiders, Falcons, Commanders, 3-5 Broncos, Packers, Buccaneers, and Titans, 3-6 Rams, 2-7 Bears, Patriots, Giants, 1-7 Panthers, and 1-8 Arizona Cardinals. Ravens over Seahawks is up next. 37-3 was the final. Geno Smith was horrible. That offense was horrible. Their defense is still good. Again, you played the Ravens. I am aware of the points that was out on the board, but that was a horrible game that the Seahawks played. An absolute disappointment, but they will definitely bounce back next week versus the Commanders. They need a whole new offense. Let me tell you that right now, especially the quarterback. That is what I'm going to say. I believe if he throws an interception and we are trailing to the Washington Commanders next week, please put Drew Lock in. I said it on a Twitter post, put Drew Lock in. You've already seen enough of Geno. Let's see your backup quarterback has experience, who knows what he's doing. Put Drew Lock in if worst comes to worst. If they can't do it, and the Ravens are an excellent team, they're a Super Bowl bound team. There's no other question to ask. And that's my thoughts. I was wrong about the pick. Jack was right, unfortunately. And
That's right.
Yeah. What are your thoughts?
Well, I had a feeling Seattle was going to get exposed in this game because they haven't really played any real opponents outside of the Detroit Lions, which was a pretty good win. But let me just say this right now. This might be a hot take. Eli, you may or may not agree with it. I don't think any team in the NFL, not any of the 31 other teams, are beating the Baltimore Ravens right now. They, to me, right now, are the best team in the NFL. Offense and defense. Lamar Jackson is clicking. The rushing game is clicking. Receivers are starting to get involved. Mark Andrews is one of the best tight ends in the league. The O-line is doing good. And this defense may be the best in the NFL. They gave up 3 points to Seattle last week. And remember, they only gave up 6 to the Detroit Lions a couple weeks ago. The Ravens are rolling into first place. I believe they are tied for the top seed in the AFC. And to me, they are the best team right now in the NFL. If I had a power rank, they would be my number one team. But by the way, the Ravens, they still did lose to the Colts. So that's the most important thing I have to say.
Well, you got to keep in mind of 2 things. Thursday night on November 16th, they're on Prime Video. They're taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. And on top of that, you also have for the Ravens, the 49ers on Christmas Day. So
they're going to win both those games.
No.
That's right. Yes, they are.
What are you, upset of the week?
No, I think they're going to be favored in both of those games, in all honesty. But wait, I didn't finish, though. Okay,
go ahead. Sorry about that.
Let me say that, for the Seahawks, I mean, well, first off, let me say that how dominant of a performance the Ravens had. They allowed only 3 points to Seattle, and get this, 6 first downs. That the Seahawks had 6 first downs on Sunday. That is quite the performance from the Baltimore Ravens defense. The Seahawks actually forced 2 turnovers in the first half, but they couldn't get any points off of them. And they only ended up with 3 points. They lost by 34 points. But I totally agree. I think Geno is probably going to get benched soon. Put Drew Lock in at this point. I feel like Geno is really holding this team back. They struggled against the Bengals. They struggled against the Cardinals. They struggled against the Browns. They went 2-1 in those games. Then finally it boiled over in this Ravens loss. But we'll see if Seattle could bounce back next week. Now, they should on paper against the Commanders, but don't overlook the Commanders. As for the Ravens, they just got to keep doing what they're doing because they are rolling right now.
Browns Cardinals 27-0. We both got that picked right. We both got the locks right. I got my survivor right. There is no question that was the worst game of the week. The Browns play an excellent game. The Cardinals are bad. Shame on them for trading Josh Dobbs this season. Excellent quarterback, and kudos to the Vikings for picking him up. And what else is there to say? But there's no other comments I have. And I think this should be a short and sweet. I think we can move on right to the next game unless you have something else to complain about, Jack, for the Cardinals.
Well, we talked about how bad Seattle's offense was, and we're about to talk about how bad the Jets' offense was. Well, the Cardinals were worse than both of them combined. I don't even know if the Cardinals were across midfield at all of the game. They got sacked a million times, turnovers, defense couldn't do anything. 27-0. You got to feel for the rookie Clayton Tune. Got his first NFL start. Kyler Murray is starting, though, next Sunday. That's what the Cardinals said, so we'll see if they can bounce back. But, man, that was a rough one, and they got and the Browns just dominated from start to finish. But I don't really want to talk more about that game. Let's just go to the next game.
Packers over Rams 20-3. A surprise win for the Packers. They did good. Surprise win nonetheless. Huge win and big improvements. The Rams did not play well at all. A disappointment, and now a tough test remains. And Rams to have signed Carson Wentz to their roster.
Wow.
Wow.
I honestly I don't really even want to talk about this game either. This game was also pretty gross. It was so many missed kicks, bad weather, both offenses.
We were both wrong.
Jordan Love did have 0 turnovers though, so good for him. Brett Ribbon couldn't do anything with the Rams. They need Matthew Stafford back if they want to contend. That has become obvious over these last couple of weeks, but not really much to say. But good win for the Packers, I guess. But a really sloppy game.
This game, I really don't know if there's much to talk about in this one other than the Colts beat the Panthers 27-13. There was no surprise there. There were 2 pick-six during the game. The Panthers played badly. The Panthers have a Thursday night game. Colts go to Germany for an interesting Germany game. And let's just say this in English, folks. The Colts did good. The Panthers did not do good at all. Congratulations to the Colts. No other comments to say.
Speaking of English, actually,
we watch extra tomorrow.
We forgot to say this during the Chiefs-Dolphins game, Eli, but the ref in that game, when he announced a false start early in the game, he said it in German.
Yes.
Yeah, we forgot to mention that, but I wanted to point that out. Yeah, about the Colts, just a great game for them. Their defense really had struggled. Well, they played really well today. They played their tails off, and pretty funny that Bryce Young's had this horrible performance on the day where CJ Stroud has his best performance, the player that the Panthers passed on in the draft. Bryce Young was horrible through 3 interceptions, 2 pick sixes, both of which, by the way, were to Kenny Moore II, who is the most underrated cornerback in the league by far. And he is the first player in Colts history to have 2 pick sixes in a game. So congratulations to Kenny. I've always loved him as a player and really happy. All of his 4 sisters were in attendance to watch it. So really cool to see that. And the Colts offense was horrible, but the defense was good. So we were able to get a 14-point win. I mean, Kenny Moore's 2 pick sixes were the difference in the game. And we go to Germany next week to play the Patriots, and we will see what happens there. But yeah, so happy my Colts won, finally.
All right, let's go to the Raiders, to the Giants. Once again, Jack picked the Giants for an upset. You're wrong. I was right, of course, because I picked the Raiders. The Giants think they need a quarterback. And when you ask the question, which New York team is worse? Well, I would say the New York Giants. I would say the New York Giants. You know why? Because the Giants have no offense. They have no defense. At least the Jets have a defense. And they have a quarterback waiting to come back of Aaron Rodgers. Now, Zach Wilson's not the answer, don't get me wrong. But I would say the Giants are the worst New York team right now. And now if you look from the West Coast perspective, the Seattle Seahawks are the New York Jets on the East Coast.
You know what the Giants have?
Good offense. But before I let you talk, the Raiders played a great, good chance game. Jimmy Garoppolo bench was the right decision. The Giants have also signed Jacob Eason, who is a former Panthers, 49ers, Seahawks, and Colts quarterback, who they added to their practice squad. And also, the Giants head coach Brian Daboll confirms Daniel Jones is out with an ACL injury. Give me what your thoughts are on this Raiders win over the Giants 30-6, please, Jack.
You know what the Giants do have more of, though, than the Jets?
Super Bowl wins.
That's right. The Giants have 4 times the amount of Super Bowl wins as the Jets. So, I mean, the Jets' Super Bowl win was in 1968. That was before the men landed on the moon.
Correct. And that was in Super Bowl 3.
Yeah. Against the Baltimore Colts. So, we don't claim them in Indianapolis. So, that doesn't count.
No, they're 2 different teams.
Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, the Raiders played great, especially with an interim coach in Antonio Pierce. How about him? The Raiders looked so much more motivated out there, and they showed why Josh McDaniels
again, though, they played the Giants, though.
It doesn't matter, Eli. It does not matter if they play the Giants. They looked good, period. I mean, a 24-point win against even the Giants is a really good win. And, I mean, just a good win for the Raiders. And, yeah, that's all I can say. All right. And prayers to Daniel Jones, though. I really hope he gets better.
Yes,
really
absolutely.
I don't really even think it's his fault for the Giants season. He just has had no offensive line behind him.
All right, upcoming schedule for the teams who had bye this week. The Broncos, my favorite team, takes on the Bills from Buffalo, 8:15 p.m. on ABC, ESPN, and ESPN2. Monday night. The Broncos also announced a new trading facility costing over $175 million. I wonder where they'll get that money from. The Lions take on the Chargers from LA, 4:05 p.m. on CBS. The 49ers and Jacksonville, who both had byes this week, compete each other 1 p.m. on Fox. Next, by the way, this week teams that are on bye include the Chiefs, Rams, Dolphins, Eagles. Speaking of the Eagles over the Cowboys 28-23. Before I get to the thoughts on that game, running back DeAndre Swift was fined $9,857 for unnecessary roughness during the Commanders game. What a surprise! They fined somebody, and the Eagles
And a really weird number
played a good
too.
game. Let's just laugh about the Cowboys, just Stephen Ice style, because because let's just say this, because that was a horrible game for the Cowboys. The Eagles did great, but again, another close but sloppy victory, but win. And again, $9,857. So remember that, kids, because that could be on your next quiz.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, let's all
Jack,
make
remember
fun
that
of the
number. What's the number, Jack?
9,857.
Okay, good. You paid attention.
Yeah. Let's all laugh at the Cowboys for only the Cowboys would go on the road, have a chance to pull off an upset and look like America's team, and still blow it. A game they should have won and outplay the Eagles for most of the game, and they still lose because Dak Prescott could not keep his foot in bounds, and the tight end could not cross the goal line, and he didn't even throw the ball in the end zone on the last play. Typical Cowboys stuff. They've not made an NFC Championship game in 30 years. It's going to stay that way for a very, very long time. First round exits next year, but yeah, so just a horrible loss for them. Eagles were sloppy, but they pulled out in the end. Jalen Hurts a little banged up, but good win for the Eagles. They are 8-1, and they have the best record in the NFL, and they're playing like the best team in the NFL. So that's really all I can say.
Good points. Let's go to the next game in the National Football League. Bengals over the Bills 24-18. No DeMar Hamlin means a loss for the Buffalo Bills. A disappointment loss, nonetheless. The Bengals are back in business. Should be a fun matchup next week as they take on the Texans. And the Bills have the Broncos. Of course, should be an easy win for the Bills. Other than that, what are your thoughts to that game?
Yeah, just a great win for the Bengals. Let me just say that Lou Anarumo, their defensive coordinator, he's going to be a head coach one day. He is leading quite the defense there in Cincinnati. He was in the running for a head coaching job this offseason, didn't get one. Next year, if there's job openings, he's going to get one for sure. He is just looking absolutely fantastic there in Cincinnati. And Joe Burrow finally starting to play like an MVP candidate. Unfortunately, though, Jamar Chase suffered a back injury, and he might be out for some time, but we're not sure about that just yet. The Bills have just been very inconsistent this year. I mean, they Super Bowl team should not be 5-4. And again, they have a very tough schedule the rest of the way. So
absolutely.
I'm going to say right now, I think the Bills are going to miss the playoffs this year. I just don't see them finding any momentum the rest of the season. They didn't make enough moves at the trade deadline. They are just inconsistent. I think they're going to miss the playoffs. And I think there's going to be major changes coming to the coaching and the front office in the offseason. A disappointment for the Buffalo Bills.
Final game.
Right, and Eli got it wrong.
Yeah, we were both right about the Eagles. And now we're both wrong about the Jets, as the Jets lost to the Chargers 27-6. The East Coast version of the Seattle Seahawks is the New York Jets. The New York Jets stink, and as Troy Aikman said, a horrible New York Jets team with a great defense. The trade deadline's over, so unless Rodgers makes a miracle, Wilson is your quarterback. The Chargers are still in it to win it, as the offense was on point and the defense was right there once more. I don't think there's much to say, but the Jets stink, and you have the Chargers.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the third BYU product that I've talked about in this game. Zach Wilson. Oh, what a game he had. And when I say that, I mean what a bad game he had. Just horrible. Took 8 sacks, I believe. Didn't even score a touchdown. Justin Herbert, though, was bad, too. Really, the Chargers' defense, the takeaways and the good field position is what won them the game. And Austin Eckler, too. And Keenan Allen making a ridiculous catch. Congratulations to Keenan Allen, by the way, who crossed the 10,000-yard receiving plateau. And is the all, I believe. Yep. So, and on a crazy catch, too. One-handed catch.
Sure.
But, yeah, but both teams just looked really bad. I know it's a 21-point win for the Chargers, but they're still the Chargers, though. They're still not going to make the playoffs, obviously. I think the Broncos and the Raiders are both better than the Chargers. So, yeah. just
All
interesting
right.
game, and we'll see what happens the rest of the way.
Let's make our Week 10 picks. Again, there's no Prediction Friday show. I will not be in town, so I will not be doing a show, nor will Jack. Of course, join Jack tomorrow for the Horseshoe show that airs 7 o'clock on Search Sports. But let's get into our Week 10 picks. We're making all of our picks this week, not just the Thursday night game on Tuesday. On Thursday coming up. So let's break it down. Chicago's in favor by 3.5. Panthers, Bears, Thursday night football, 8:15 p.m. on Prime Video. I think we can all agree that's the game of the week, right, Jack?
Oh, yeah, the NFL making us suffer on a random Thursday night is certainly going to be the game of the week.
Bears are winning that game, however, 14-7. Best game of the week.
They're not.
There's no arguing.
The Panthers are winning. The Panthers win 17-10 over the Chicago Bears. I don't care if Justin Fields or Tyson Bagent is starting. Every time I pick the Bears to win, they lose. So
yes,
they're probably going to end up winning since I picked them to lose. But I don't care. Give me the Carolina Panthers. Frank Reich going to go in there and make a upset in Chicago. Give me the Carolina Panthers. I have no clue. I don't even really care if I get this game wrong or not because who knows if they're going to win. I mean, it's probably going to end up in a tie for all we know. But
Colts, Patriots, Indianapolis favored by 1.5. Germany game, 9:30 a.m. on NFL Network. Give me the Colts, 21-18.
Colts win 24-19 and get Bill Belichick fired. Let's go Colts. They're going to go to Germany and they're going to beat the Patriots. And Germany's a beautiful country and they deserve to see the best team in the NFL, the Indianapolis Colts, win a football game. So the Colts win 24-19.
Browns, Ravens, 1 p.m. on Fox. Baltimore's in favor by 6. Give me the Ravens, 37-21.
I've got the Ravens as well. I don't really think any team's beating them. The Browns defense, though, is going to keep this offense in check, although the Ravens defense is going to do the same for the Browns. A 20-9 win for Baltimore. Wow. I believe it will be their fifth consecutive win. Yes. So Ravens keep it going at home.
I think we can agree this next game is the game of the week. Texans, Bengals, 1 p.m. CBS.
That's not my game of the week.
No, nope. I say it's the game of the week.
Hey, I'm looking at my games. I'm trying to see if there's any other
other than the other game you could think of is the 49ers Jaguars. But I think
that's my game of the week. That is my game of the week.
All right. So we're gonna disagree for once this week. My game of the week is the Texans Bengals. Jack's game of the week is the 49ers Jaguars.
Yeah, it's the right choice too.
For the Texans Bengals game, 1 p.m. on CBS. Give me for the upset of the week, the Texans.
Wow.
28-27. I love this Texans team. Sorry, Joe Burrow. Give me the Texans.
Yeah, I'm not doing this. Okay, with all due respect to the Texans, CJ Stroud, with all due respect to him, he is not Joe Burrow. He does not have the experience of Joe Burrow. You've got two former Ohio State quarterbacks going up against each other. So we'll see what happens. But no, the Bengals are winning 33-24, especially in Cincinnati. If this game was in Houston, I'd probably go with the Texans, but it's going to be loud. The Bengals are one of the hottest teams in the NFL. Do you think
he's right? Do you think he's right?
Yes, he does think he's right. The Bengals win 33-24, and Joe Burrow has another great game with 3 touchdowns, and Joe Mixon over 150 yards rushing, and the Bengals win 33-24. Let's go to the next game.
I don't think so. Well, I guess he doesn't think so.
All right, well, you guys are both wrong. If you guys are looking on the left of your screen, look at the room of the wrongs because first off, the Christmas trees are wrong because it's not Christmas season yet. And second of all, you're looking
49ers, at Jaguars, San Francisco. San Francisco's in favor by 3. 1 p.m. on Fox. Give me the 49ers, 26-23.
Yeah, I've got the 49ers as well. I mean, 3 straight losses, but their bye weeks going to allow them to regroup and bounce back when they win in Jacksonville. I expect there to be a lot of 49ers fans down there in Duval. 28-20, the 49ers win. Finally get back on track, and the Jags' 5-game winning streak comes to an end.
Also, 1 p.m. on Fox, Saints, Vikings, New Orleans, in favor by 2.5. Give me the Vikings, 24-17.
I have the Vikings as well, 26-21.
Good choice.
In a win. Josh Dobbs is going to continue his great story. The Vikings are just going to continue great things, although it does stink for them that Cam Akers is out for the year with a torn Achilles, I think it's either that or a torn ACL. I'm not sure, but he is out for the season, which really stinks. But give me the Vikings at home, and they get to 6-4 on the season.
Packers take on the Steelers. Pittsburgh's in favor by 3. Give me the Steelers, 14-12.
Yeah, Steelers at home. They're a very good team at home. They win 14-3. The Packers' offense is horrible. Okay. You got 2 good defenses against each other. So give me the Steelers in a very, very low scoring game, 14-3.
Titans Buccaneers, 1 p.m. on CBS. Tampa Bay is in favor by 1. Give me the Buccaneers, 18-15.
The Titans are still looking for their first road win of their first win of 2023 outside of Nissan Stadium. They will get that this week, a 24-21 win for Tennessee in my book.
Wow.
Will Levis continues his strong play. He is now, Mike Vrabel said today that he is the starter going forward. Ryan Tannehill will be the backup. So this will be, obviously, it'll be Tannehill's last season with the Titans. He is in a contract year. So congratulations to Will Levis. He is the future of the Tennessee Titans. Well deserved for him. Young man has just played absolutely crazy the last 2 weeks, and he's going to lead his team to a win over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Falcons Cardinals 4 or 5 p.m. on CBS. Atlanta's favored by 1. Give me the Falcons 21-3.
Give me the Cardinals in the upset with Kyler Murray coming back. I can't pick the Falcons anymore. I have zero trust in them. They are just a poorly run team. The Cardinals are going to come ready to play at home in Arizona. Cardinals win 27-25 in my upset of the week.
Lions Chargers 2.5. Detroit is favored 4 or 5 p.m. on CBS. Lions 25-21.
Chargers. No, I'm just kidding. Lions 28-27. I do have a take though. The Chargers are going to be winning 27-14 about midway through the fourth quarter, and then they're going to give up 2 touchdowns and blow like they always do because it's the Chargers. So Lions win 28-27.
Yep. Giants Cowboys 4:25 p.m. on Fox. Dallas is favored by 16 points. I think that sounds about right. If the Cowboys allow no points from the Giants once more, I think the Cowboys are for real. Survivor and lock of the week. Cowboys 35-0.
The New York Football Giants will lose 38-10. The Cowboys win.
At least you're giving them 10 points.
Also, my lock and survivor. Yeah, I don't know why. Garbage time points, but my lock and survivor pick.
We both pick lock and survivor.
Yep, we both. Yep, for the same. But I don't really know who else to pick. So Cowboys, lock and survivor.
Commander Seahawks. Seattle's in favored by 6. Seattle Seahawks 24-18.
First off, Eli, let me just say, don't be surprised if the Commanders win, but I'm still picking the Seahawks though at home, 23-17.
No, they're winning for my birthday.
That's true.
Jets Raiders. Winning. Sunday Night Football, 8:20 p.m. on NBC. New York Jets are favored by 1.5. Give me the Jets, 23-17. Jets, 23-17 victory.
No, not after what happened last night. I'm going with the Raiders at home. They played so well last week. They're going to continue that this week, 24-6. And by the way, the Raiders are not out of the playoff hunt just yet. So look for the Raiders to make a little run here in the second half. But give me the Las Vegas Raiders, 24-6.
Monday Night Football on ABC, ESPN, and ESPN2. Buffalo in favor by 7.5. Broncos versus Bills. Give me the Bills, 35-21, beating the Denver Broncos. Sorry, Kurt.
Unfortunately, Broncos country will not ride on Monday night. The Bills win 21-17 in a close one, though. But again, I don't really know what's going to happen. But that is it for our Week 10 picks.
Yes, that is it. We're locked in. We cannot change them. Those are our Week 10 picks. We thank you for joining us on Surge Sports. Reminder, join Jack tomorrow on the Horseshoe Show, 7 p.m. on Surge Sports. As a reminder, there is no Prediction Friday prediction show on Friday. So you'll see our faces once more on Tuesday next week. That will be the 14th for our Week 10 breakdown. And as a reminder, join Sports with Mano a Mano on Saturday at 10 a.m. I will not be there this weekend, but Bobby will be. So go take a look, say hi to Bobby and Jim. Watch the show. There's a lot to talk about, as always. And we thank you once more for joining us on the 12th Rich Podcast and Surge Sports. For Jack Rizzo, Elijah Weintraub, go Seahawks, go Rangers, go Devils. Tonight. They are on TNT tonight. So is the Rangers, but go Devils. Go Devils. Go Devils. Go